Good morning, YouTube. So I just received this package yesterday. It's from our buddies over there at Carven exhaust. These are the new tips that I ordered for my car. Ordered them about 5 days ago. They came in pretty quick. So we're gonna do a little unboxing, check them out, see the quality of them, and then we'll go install them out on the car and see how easy that goes. So why don't we take a look at these things and see what they look like. So overall, my first impression of these tips is they're very high grade. The coating, is really nice. There's really no imperfections on them at all. And they have the same flange that the factory tip has. So hopefully it's going to be a pretty easy install. I know the hardest part will probably be taking off the old ones and making sure these things are perfectly lined up where you want them. But why don't we go take them out in the garage and pull the old tips off, and I'll show you guys how to do that. And then we could throw these ones on and see how it looks. I only have my stock diffuser right now, so I'm kind of curious to see how these will look with the stock rear diffuser on the car. I do have a new one coming in, so I'm waiting on that. But let's go check it out right now. So I know most guys, when they're messing with their exhaust tips, they usually jack the back of the car up. I'm gonna probably just try to mess with it, just on the creeper, see how it goes. Only tool you're gonna really need is a 13 mil socket, and there's gonna be one bolt holding the tip, or holding the clamp around the tip. So we'll just loosen up that bolt and see if we can wiggle the tip off. I know sometimes they're pretty hard to get off, so I've already had this one off because I readjusted it. It wasn't straight. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, I'll go grab one of the other tips and throw it in there for now. Here's a little comparison of the factory tip on the left compared to the 5-inch Carven tip. I mean, you can see there's a pretty big difference. I think the Carven tip just looks better quality in itself, with the double walled, nice smooth finish on the inside right there. So whenever you're doing any type of exhaust work, don't tighten up anything completely right away. I'm gonna wait till I get the other tip on the other side and then make sure they're completely even. I've done so many exhausts before and made my mistakes doing them, like put a full bolt-on exhaust, and you start at the front of the car, like say with like a turbo back, and if you start tightening stuff up towards the front of the car, by the time you get to the back, you know, you might be off just a tiny bit. So it's always good to leave the whole system somewhat snug so you can still adjust it, and then do all your adjusting, and then finally tightening everything up. So let's pull off this other tip now. So here's a little view of what you're gonna see when you're gonna pull off the stock tips, and that is the one bolt that you need to pull or loosen, and that's gonna be the 13 millimeter. And you can see over here where I put the Carven tip on. You can kind of have your tips stick out a little bit more, or you could tuck them in. It's really all about, you know, how you want it. I'm just more particular on making sure that you have it centered and have a perfect gap between the rear diffuser or valence and the tip. Also, making sure that the lettering is right in the center and not like kind of off a little bit. So I'm gonna loosen it up a little and spin it, because the lettering to me isn't straight. See, I like how that looks right there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where I want it. It is. That's the final product. These things are actually really nice. I was a little skeptical when I was first looking into them. I thought they were going to be too big. Maybe it's the angles some of the guys show the pictures of their cars with them. You know, because a 5-inch tip, that's pretty big. I mean, some diesel trucks and stuff run that. So, yeah, I think it's a really good look. Even on the stock diffuser too, I was a little worried about that. Once I get my diffuser in from KNG, I think it'll look real aggressive in the back. I'll do a little cold start.